Utah State University began life in 1888 as Utah Agricultural College and was granted land in the northern part of the state in the mountainous agricultural setting of Cache Valley. The original Cache Valley campus sits in a prominent position along the shoreline of the ancient Lake Bonneville, east of downtown Logan. The first building housed classrooms and offices for the faculty, and within a year a new addition was built to the north. Shortly thereafter, a second addition was built, and the building now known as Old Main has remained in continuous use ever since. The national firm of White, Hubbard & Prey from New York was hired to develop the first master plan. As a result, additional buildings have been organized around a quadrangle of open green space. The quad has served as a training ground, classroom, recreational space, and arboretum. Over the years, the college grew despite difficult economic times and 2 world wars. It has, throughout the years, kept its core mission of teaching, research, and extension or outreach as the guiding principle of growth as it has responded to historic events. By the early 1900s, parking had become a challenge as many of the students traveled to campus by private car. The college has, for the most part, respected the original street pattern of the town by planning growth around the same 600 feet by 600 feet grid as the city blocks. The grid provides a convenient organization of pedestrian and vehicular traffic as well as utilities to serve the campus. As well as a strong street pattern guiding the campus growth, the principle of accommodating increasing enrollment with a balance of land uses has prevailed. Safe vehicular and pedestrian circulation and a clear definition of the space between buildings have allowed growth to occur without a major upheaval to the campus or the city. The GI Bill and the need to educate returning veterans after World War II led to a spurt in campus construction that added many buildings, including campus housing, and fueled the now healthy housing rental market in Logan City. While the main campus is located in Cache Valley, the university has regional campuses in Tooele, the Uinta Basin, Brigham City, and education centers throughout the state. In the summer of 2010, the College of Eastern Utah merged with Utah State University, creating a partnership which will be mutually beneficial. The College of Eastern Utah has been a long-standing institution in Utah, established since 1937 with campuses in Price and Blanding. Since the last public presentation of the master plan, a number of new buildings have been constructed and existing buildings renovated. For example, the new 66,000 square foot Emma Eccles-Jones Early Childhood Education and Research Center has been constructed. This facility houses classrooms, offices, and research spaces specializing in early childhood education and development. It also provides space for 2 preschools, including a state-of-the-art preschool for deaf children. The placement and orientation of the new building allows the creation of a new campus quadrangle, uniting the Emma Eccles-Jones College of Education and Human Services buildings, as well as providing play areas for children. The new 112,000 square foot U-Star Bioinnovations Research Building houses top researchers in the fields of microbiology, life sciences, and advanced nutrition, and is working closely with the scientific industry within the state of Utah. The building has achieved LEED Gold certification. A new equine education center and arena has been completed, providing a facility for classes in riding and husbandry skills on USU's South Campus farm site. At the Uinta Basin Regional Campus in Vernal, the Bingham Entrepreneurship and Energy Research Center was completed in 2010. This LEED Gold facility houses advanced theoretical and applied research and training in energy, biology, chemistry, geology, and natural resources. This research will be relevant to local and regional economic development of Eastern Utah's vast mineral resources. The Utah State University Botanical Center in Kaysville continues to grow, featuring a new 6,500 square foot distance learning classroom building recently completed in the spring of 2011. Over the past 6 years, USU has prioritized ongoing classroom upgrades campus-wide. Each year, 15 to 20 classrooms have been renovated to include lighting, finishes, whiteboards, and infrastructure for smart classroom technology. By the end of 2011, most classroom upgrades will be complete, and thereafter will be placed on a rotating maintenance schedule. The planning of these new buildings and future ones has always been a participatory process, involving students, faculty, donors, administrators, as well as state and local officials. The campus has benefited from a succession of administrators and planners who have shared a serious commitment to the visual quality of the campus fabric, as well as the academic quality of programs offered. That commitment still exists and will continue because research has shown that an attractive campus setting is important to students when choosing an institution. As growth continues, the university is faced with finite land resources. Expansion is limited on all sides by topography and surrounding neighborhoods. In 1998, the university commissioned the national firm of Sasaki & Associates from Boston to study the campus and make recommendations for accommodating growth that would also preserve the character of the campus's physical fabric. That study indicated that enrollment could increase from 16,000 full-time equivalents on campus to 26,000 without the need to acquire more land by replacing single-story buildings with 3- and 4-story buildings. The Sasaki study recommended that campus entrances and nodes of activity should be strengthened and linkages developed and preserved. Green spaces should be preserved and new quadrangles and courtyards developed as density increases. New academic buildings should be within a 5-minute walking distance from the center of campus. The study recommended that parking structures should replace surface lots over time as new buildings become necessary. An example of planning for growth while preserving land can be seen in the library addition. The university was able to reduce the footprint of the facility by using a high-density system for storage of books that are not in high demand. Because the physical resources for campus growth are finite, the university has pursued a number of sustainable initiatives. The central energy plant, completed in 2002, replaced the coal-fired boilers with modern gas-fired ones and reduced air pollution in the valley from 265 tons to 20 tons annually. Natural gas is the primary fuel source, while other alternatives continue to be investigated. The bus system now operates on natural gas rather than diesel fuel. The air conditioners in many buildings have been replaced with more efficient central chillers that pipe cold water to buildings through underground tunnels. The south facade of the new College of Agriculture building will incorporate solar photovoltaic panels. USU is investigating the potential for development of a new large-scale solar power array near the USU substation. In the same area, a feasibility study has been conducted to evaluate the potential to generate wind power at the mouth of Logan Canyon. The study results indicate that the site has the potential to generate up to 2 megawatts of power for the university. Other opportunities to reduce energy use of buildings are being studied, such as adding solar shades and green roofs to buildings. The planning staff and facilities helps identify strategies for the placement of new buildings and the phasing out of old buildings. Certain buildings, by their age and architectural merit, must be preserved and remodeled. Others lack the infrastructure or are incompatible to support the science being researched and taught in them. Some buildings have been converted from their original use and will eventually need to be replaced as land becomes more valuable. The new 121,000 square foot College of Agriculture building is under construction. This $48 million facility was primarily funded with state capital development funds and sits on a prominent and historic site to the east of the quad. The building will replace the existing Ag Science building, which is aging and not in compliance with modern life safety code requirements. The university enrollment continues to increase on campuses throughout the state. The number of new students is at an all-time high. New buildings are needed to accommodate students and expanding programs. USU continues to lead in providing higher educational opportunities statewide. Enrollment was up 17% on regional campuses in the spring of 2011. The Regional Campuses and Distance Education Program is constructing a new $10 million, 38,000 square foot classroom building on the Logan campus to serve this growing segment. This year, an expansion to the business building has been funded through a combination of state and donor dollars. The new facility will consist of a $30 million, 90,000 square foot addition to the south side of the existing business building, allowing for expansion, increased functionality, and visibility for the John M. Huntsman School of Business. The building known as the Barn has contained a mixture of classrooms, offices, and scientific laboratories. Built in 1896 for the purpose of housing livestock, this building is one of the oldest on campus. To preserve it as an important landmark, extensive renovation is needed to address code requirements and functionality issues. Programming has been completed to explore the potential of the building to house the Anthropology Museum and a welcome center for the university. The Fine Arts Center has not had any significant upgrades since it was built in 1969. In 2010, a facilities plan was completed to assess the needs of the building, establish priorities, and develop a strategy for improvements. This study identified the need to replace the old fly system in the major venues, and this project was completed in 2010 with capital improvement dollars. Other major priorities include adding a sprinkler system, seismic bracing, and emergency lighting. The aging mechanical and lighting systems need to be upgraded. The catwalks are a safety concern, and the theatrical lighting is wearing out and obsolete. The historic Animal Science Building was built in 1918 and occupies a prominent site on the quad. It is in need of a major renovation to address structural and life safety deficiencies. It houses a mixture of classrooms and laboratories that belong to a variety of colleges. The building lacks basic amenities like air conditioning. It is constructed of unreinforced masonry walls and concrete floors. The timber roof structure is not seismically connected to the walls. The Biology and Natural Resources Building was constructed in 1959 and has reached the point where a major overhaul is needed of the mechanical ventilation and heating system. The building has seismic problems that need to be addressed, and the exterior wall system is extremely inefficient. The Health, Physical Education, and Recreation Building contains classrooms that are centrally scheduled, as well as labs for the Emma Eccles-Jones College of Education and Human Services. The building was constructed in 1970, and there is a major need to expand this facility to accommodate the significant increase in student population over the past 40 years. The building lacks much of the modern equipment needed for the study of exercise science. The pools are aging, there is need for new ventilation equipment, and a water treatment system. The primary need for the USU Eastern Campus in Price is a replacement of the aging music building and the Geary Theater. Both buildings have significant life safety and ADA issues. Functionally, the project will bring together theater, music, and visual arts into one facility on campus on the historic site of the now demolished old main building. Most of the recent growth at USU Eastern has been at its San Juan campus in Blanding, which serves a large area of students from the Four Corners region. This growth has exacerbated the need for additional housing on the campus. The current resident halls are full, and the private rental market is not equipped to support campus residential growth. Program and enrollment growth at the regional campuses has led to the need for expansion at Brigham City, where commercial buildings are being adapted for short-term growth. Master planning is underway for a new 48-acre campus site, recently purchased by USU to accommodate long-term growth. The new land is a brownfield site, occupied by dilapidated buildings historically used as a naval hospital and Native American school. The new location is ideally situated near downtown Brigham City, with convenient and safe access from Main Street and Highway 8991. Planning has begun for the first building on the new site, which will accommodate the first phase of the transition to the new campus. The Tooele Regional Campus has recently completed an 18,000 square foot addition to their current facility. Additionally, they have received a generous donation of 30 acres of land from Tooele City and have purchased 32 acres of adjacent property. A 50-year comprehensive master plan for the campus will be completed in 2011. The Tooele Applied Technology Center received funding this year from the state and is partnering with USU Tooele to construct a new facility on the new property for shared use by both programs. USU is in the process of master planning 40 acres of land south of Moab that will be the future location of a new campus. As a destination campus with regionally relevant programs, the student body is anticipated to grow to 300 to 500 students within 5 years, with corresponding increases in faculty, staff, and programs. Master planning efforts at USU have expanded to include new campuses throughout Utah, where much of the growth is occurring. It will continue to seek to progressively enhance the university environment, whether in Logan or elsewhere. The plans will change and evolve in an open, iterative, and creative process based on our principles for land use, density, open space, circulation, parking, and infrastructure.